Welcome to Santapod Raceway, England for the main event, the first round of the 2019 FIA and FIM European Drag Racing Championships. With 2 days of qualifying leading into Monday's eliminations, there should be plenty of action to keep the fans entertained, and the class that plenty have come to see has to be Top Fuel, those 10,000 horsepower nitro methane burning monsters. So can 2018 champion Anita Mäkelä do it again?
Well, I do hope so, but it's going to be tough work. But we are prepared for that, but we'll see that very shortly.
Well, we had an event here at Easter and Liam was running 390s, so he's obviously going to be very strong competition.
That's right. I think Liam has been always very fast, but he has had a little bit lack of consistency. But the Easter showed that he is in that consistency level where he needs to be to win the event. So he's going to be fast, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we had a great start in testing and we couldn't have wished for more, really. We've got a real good standard now, so yeah, we know where we are.
Any changes over the winter?
Yeah, we've done a few, just uprated sort of fuel systems and things like that, but only sort of minor tweaks, really. Like, we proved that we can run the numbers, so there wasn't that much need to change anything else. It was more just consistency.
In terms of the opposition, obviously Anita's going to be there. A few new drivers this year, so how are you thinking it's going to go?
Yeah, I mean, there's always Anita, isn't there, Down? But yeah, I mean, Maya's got a really good car. Suzanne's got a good car, though she's not doing full season. I know Stig, he's upgraded loads of stuff, so it's going to be a tough one. Yeah.
So this year is unique in top-level motorsport, as 50% of the competitors in Top Fuel are female.
I'm very thrilled that half of the Top Fuel drivers are ladies. So let's see if it will be battle between men and ladies, but yeah, we'll see.
On to Q1 then. So the first pair is India Erbacher in the right-hand auto glim lane against Maya Utjen in the left energy check lane. Both of these drivers are quite new to Top Fuel, India debuting in competition last year, and this is Maya's first FIA competition. And good launches from both. Off the power before the stripe, but still getting a good opening time on the card, and it looks like the track is going to be good this weekend. The OK to fire up the next pair is given Anita Mäkelä and Liam Jones. Both these cars are proven 3-second runners. Liam put in some storming testing runs at Easter's Festival of Power, so he must be fancying his chances against Anita this year. Usually the first qualifying session is very much a tentative test to see what track conditions are like, but we've already seen strong launches from the previous pair. Pulling up to the line before all hell breaks loose. Storming runs here. Liam goes 3.88 to Anita's 4.09, so number one qualifier after the first of 4 scheduled sessions is Liam Jones. And it's not only the track that's in good condition.
Yeah, there's been like 4 years hard work really to change it. Basically how it's ended up now, I've negotiated a new deal with the FIA on behalf of a new company we've set up, which has all the tracks as shareholders, plus the speed group. So there's 5 parties in it now that are equal shareholders in the company, and that company will now run the championship. I'm the chairman of that company, and I'm also now on the commission, the FIA commission. So I think we can start to not reorganise, but restructure how the championship runs.
Time for our first look at Pro Modified now, and a lot of work in the week running up to this event for championship contender David Vegter.
Yeah, last week we did a burnout. I heard something going wrong in the engine in the burnout, and I switched it off myself. We brought it back to the tent and we found that one rod kicked out, so it destroyed basically the engine, the bottom end. We loaded up the engine on Monday. We went to a machine shop in Holland and got it rebuilt, and now we're back. We are going for the championship, and I think we have the stuff to do it. So.
On to Pro Mod then. 22 cars entered for a 16-car field and a rather incident-laden first qualifying session. Kim Christiansen in the right lane taking on Nick Davies. Kim leaves on the green with problems for Nick, but after the finish line, Kim appears to be slowing safely when the car takes a sudden turn to the right into the wall, just as Nick Davies finally launches his car. Luckily, no injuries, but quite a start to the session nonetheless. Next pair is Bert Englefield in the 38 Ford Coupe and Bobby Wallace in the Willis. Two awesome-looking hot rods here. All went well on the run, two fairly straight, good low 6-second openers, and then deja vu. Bert turns hard right into the wall, luckily missing Bobby's car. Again, no injuries, but two cars out of competition already. Andreas Artisan in the 69 Chevelle. Jan Eriksson closest to us in the Camaro. Both these two have eyes on the championship this year, looking good. 589 for Jan, so number one at the moment, but that time will certainly drop over the next three sessions. Two other key contenders, multi-time champion Mickey Gilchrist in the white Camaro having problems. The reigning champ Jimmy Orland goes straight to number one spot with a 586. And Jimmy's also competing in Pro Stock this year with the Blue Summit sponsored Camaro. A busy man, but we managed to catch up with him in the pits.
Yeah, well, you got to think when you drive one of them. Well, you got to think when you drive both of them, actually. But Pro Stocker I made so many runs in, so that's easier for me. And not saying that it's easy, but... Pro Modified, we got 3 gears. We got a torque converter instead of a clutch. And I got to press 2 air buttons to put it in second and third gear. Pro Stock, you got to leave with the clutch, and you got to shift it manually with the shifter, 5 gears. So it's more like driving a car in this end, but the other one sets you back in the seat a bit more.
We're jumping to later in the day now for Q2 for the Pro Mods, starting with Jan Eriksson again, but this time against Mats Eriksson. No relation, by the way, in the black and white hot rod. Jan looking to retake that number one spot from Jimmy Orland, but the new car of Mats Eriksson is also a contender, straight into the fives there.
This car has a potential. The engine has a potential. It's just up to us now to prove that and adjust the car. But we feel we have a little still there to learn and adjust and to listen to the car, what the car wants us to do.
Andreas Artisan right lane, Jimmy Orland left lane. Problems for Jimmy at the hit, but a good run by Andreas puts him right up there with the leaders.
They started real nice. Made a good run with 51, made a decent run with this one. Second round we had a timer failure for the shocks on the 51, so we didn't go anywhere, which was a shame. Pro Stock we picked up, but we didn't pick up enough. Malmgren passed us in the qualifying order, so they could be a little bit better. We know we got a handle on 51, it was just one of those freak things that happened. So.
Back to Top Fuel with Suzanne Callin, wife of Santapod CEO Keith Bartlett.
Yeah, I mean, Suzanne, my wife, she comes from a drag racing family. I come from racing the best part of all my life. So we are a drag racing family already. The difference is she, we had brought 3 kids up, so she was took a bit of a sabbatical, which she thought might have been permanent. So the kids are offhand a bit. Well, they're not offhand. They're now racing in Junior Dragster. I mean, they put their toe in the water the season before last, thought it was okay. Last season they ran stock, said I love it. Now one's in Modified A, one's in Modified. So the natural step was put Suzanne into Top Fuel.
And this is Suzanne with the Slick Tricks Racing Dragster, this time out facing Stig Neergaard in the Lucas Oil-backed Eye of the Storm. Suzanne didn't record a time in Q1, Stig ran a 6.1. Storming runs here. 4.01 for Suzanne and a 3.91 for Stig. Everyone seems to have a handle on the track conditions right from the off. Next up is veteran racer Mickey Kagared in the orange Baco Dragster and the UK's Tethys in the purple Mustard Bet Machine. Vicky off the power early, and a huge engine explosion for Tethys, still running a 441 at 215 miles per hour, and that means a big rebuild job for the crew overnight to get ready for tomorrow's sessions. It's the ladies now, Maya Uchien right lane and India Urbacher in the left lane. Maya's driving a car from the Runa Field Motorsport team for the year, and there's nothing that Runa doesn't know about tuning top fuel cars. India and Tethys, for that matter, are both driving Team Urbacher cars. But a problem for Maya, the car won't move forward into stage, so a solo for India. And another car in the threes, 394 at 302 miles per hour. On board Anita's car for this final pair. And she's facing the UK's Liam Jones in the CBD Asylum Dragster. Both these two put in perfect passes in Q1, so they know what works on this track, but they'll be experimenting to see if they can improve things. A flash from Liam's engine just before the 1,000-foot finish line, and Anita takes number one spot with that 387. Not a trouble-free run though, looking good, then a slight move left at the finish line and the car drifts into and scrapes the wall.
Well, yeah, it was kissing the wall, so it wasn't what we planned, but that happened, and we lost the front wing, but otherwise the car is just fine.
I mean, obviously we want to run quicker, but yeah, we're relatively happy at the moment, sitting second just behind Anita, but yeah, I'll do. Probably use tomorrow more to get geared up for Monday, if that makes sense, so see where we are, and it's going to get progressively worse, the weather, I think, so we'll just see. Yeah, we just change accordingly, so.
After many years out of the sport, Suzanne Callin has just put in a great first full pass.
Yeah, I've been a little bit apprehensive. I was like, I'm going to take it slow and take it easy. I said, but now the biggest obstacle is done. I've had my full pass, so now we can start to get moving.
It's a very good start to qualifying. Half the teams are pretty much 3 seconds or they're going to be in there. There's not going to be any easy races, are there, in this class now?
Definitely not. Like a 401, and I'm number 5. I'm on the 5th place, so yeah, no, it's going to be hard.
So at the end of day one, it's Anita at the top with half the field already in the threes and several more knocking at the door. Moving on to two wheels now with Top Fuel Bike. René Vandenberg in the left lane with the supercharged Nitro machine, and the bike kicks as soon as he launches, putting him into the wall. Luckily he was off the power, so no injury, but some repair work to be done, I'm sure. But a great 6.6 second opener for Thomas Pettersson. Championship contender Rickard Gustafsson next in the right lane against Dale Leaks on the Warp Speed racing bike. Rickard's machine is a 5-second runner, and he desperately wants to get the crown back from Greece's Philippos Papaphilippou. He posts a strong 591. Steve Wollett now on the dealer, really stepped up in performance already this year and looking for that first 5, but a 619 this time round. On to Q2 now, and more problems for a repaired René Vandenberg. Looking good and straight, then a huge engine fire at 1,000 feet. He gets qualified with a 628, but at what cost? Reigning champion Phil Papaphilippou on the hugely fast Gulf Oils bike wheels up the entire run, pulling the chute early for a 631. That's only good enough for number 4 spot at the moment.
We're looking very good for this year, although I'd have to say we've made significant changes to the bike over the winter period with the hope of stepping up a notch. That could mean we have to step backwards a little bit, particularly at this race meeting, but hopefully the change we've made will be substantial enough for us to start moving up the, should I say, the quickest and fastest table.
Back with 4 wheels now and Pro Modified. 22 cars chasing 16 elimination spots, and these final 2 qualifying sessions will be intense. David Vector showing that the engine rebuild was well worth it, taking the number 1 spot from Jimmy Orland and the record for the fastest European blower car on this run. This is Russia's Dmitry Samorukov in the SMP Racing Camaro. John Webster in the Mustang, both qualified in the 630s at the moment. Good launch, then Dmitry takes a sharp turn right before half track. John also steering right to avoid him. It's much colder today, so track conditions are very different from yesterday. And with the weather set to get even colder tomorrow, it means back to square one for finding the best setup for eliminations. Many-time FIA champion Nicky Goldquist is currently not qualified. Slow off the line, but he's on the power now. And moving to a safer mid-table position with this 6.0.
Yeah, well, we struggle a lot. We try a lot of things with this new combination with the converter drive. So, and we don't really know what it wants yet, really. But it seems to be we calmed it down for the last run and could get down the track anyway. Not very fast, but fast enough.
Final session for the Pro Mods. This is Norbert Kuno from Germany in the Dodge Avenger, currently in 19th place, and Kim Christiansen in the near lane. Tyre shake from the off for Norbert, then all hell breaks loose. Left, then right, then a hard hit on the wall. Luckily, no serious injuries. Then in the very next race, Roger Johansson in the Mustang and Dmitry Samorikov. The driving job and save of the century for Dmitry here. Somehow missing the wall. And in slow motion, it looks quite majestic, almost like choreographed car ballet, snatching left, right, left again, missing the wall. Not sure how he managed to save that one. Some seat-of-the-pants racing in Pro Mod. And looking at him on board, wrestling with the steering, left, right, snatching it all over the place. Not a place I'd like to be. A great return to racing for Mark Hartveldt after the car was destroyed by fire just over a year ago. Well qualified in the field with his first ever 5 for the team.
Yeah, it was an awesome run. We worked hard for this, and when it came 5.9, we didn't know, but we put everything in. And now we finally run a 5.9 and a 5.95, so that's very good.
It's not that long since you actually brought the car out, is it?
No, it's the second weekend, so I think 6 runs on it, and now in the 5, so...
And as happened so many times before in Pro Mod qualifying, Nicky Goldquist gets it right in the final session. That's Michel Turin nearest the camera, 5.93 for Michel, and that 5.91 for Mickey puts him in 6th place. So a quick look at the final qualifying table, though with several cars now out as a result of crashes, some drivers may get in as alternates. Back with Top Fuel now, and time to catch up with long-time competitor Miki Kagarid.
Oh, it isn't. We struggle around a little bit, and a new part, a new clutch, yeah, it's not so easy, but we are really close to have a good run now, but we're dropping some cylinders, so yeah, we see what's happened here.
Qualifying session number 3, and with 8 cars entered for an 8-car field, everyone's already qualified. Today the drivers will be experimenting with possible setups, so there's a good chance that full passes won't be the order of the day. The weather's been challenging so far today with several rain delays. Tomorrow's also forecast to be on the cool side. Maya Uchien right lane against Miki Kagarid left lane. Huge crowds here on the bank at Santa Pod. Half the field in the 3s already, but still no full pass for Mickey. Maya improves to a 4.11. Anita in the left lane, Liam in the right lane. And Anita's flying on this one, but not improving on her previous 3.87.
Today was a good one. We struggled a little bit yesterday, but today we run a 4.11, so it's getting there. Yeah.
How many times have you actually driven this car now in total?
Let me see, it was 3 in Easter or something, and then 3 here, so it's 6.
Not bad at all after just 6 runs in the car. And into the final session, Maya this time is up against Susan Callin in the Slick Tricks Dragster, and going even quicker, so close to that magical 3-second pass, and loving every minute of it.
This is amazing, everything. Not only driving the car, but being around here with all the people, the spectators. team. I love everything.
India Urbacher right lane, Stig Niergaard left lane, both trying just that little bit too much and getting tyre shake. Off the power then, so no improvements there. So that's the end of qualifying, and as the cars return to the pits, final thoughts from India Urbacher.
We're really ready for the weekend now, so we're excited. We put some good stuff in the engine to show good times tomorrow.
Now that Dad isn't racing, does that mean he gives a little bit more thought to helping you in your car, or?
Yes, of course, he can help much more working on the car and bringing his experience in. And it's also cool to have him next to the car when I'm sitting in there, because he calms me down and he gives me a safety feeling. So I'm learning in every run, so every run is different, and I take another experience out of every run. And it's really cool to get the chance in Santa Pot to run these cars and to have such a good track here, so we can really go for fast times, and I can even learn much more on my runs.
We heard that racing for the Bartlett family is a real family affair. 2 daughters now compete in junior dragster. I wonder if they fancy driving Mum's car.
Oh, who knows? They only just started last year, so this is their second year. They got quicker cars this year, so we'll see where it ends up.
I've got to be very careful that if they do well, I don't stand and cheer or clap. So I have to rather stand quite solemnly when one of them does well and go, oh, yeah, that was good.
But no luck in eliminations for the girls. Jacqueline pulled a red light in her race, and then Lara beaten at the stripe. So race day dawns, and for the top fuel teams that means final preparations. Parachutes packed, engines fired up for final checks. Make sure there's no fluid leaks after the engines were rebuilt after the last run. Just 1 hour to go before round 1. But first out on track will be the Pro Mods, although that sky is looking threatening again.
Good morning.
Now, this is the view that most fans don't get to see as drivers prepare to race. And good to see the Russian team have made it out after yesterday's wild ride, hoping to get in the field as second alternates. So over to Darryl for the race commentary.
Thanks for that, Bryn. First up on race day is traditionally FIA Pro Mod. Always a big field and plenty of racing to get through. Up first, Mark Hartbelt, Mats Eriksson. Mark back after a big accident last year, his first race. Loses it out to Mats Eriksson. Good try though, 6:27, 6:12 for Mats. So Dmitry Samorukov and Roger Johansson. Dmitry, his first race in Pro Mod. How will he do against Roger? Well, the answer is pretty well actually, but lots of smoke coming from the Camaro and a big bang and a fireball at the finish line. My goodness me. That's going to make a mess of it. Well, that's not the way you want to start your FIA Pro Mod career. He will be absolutely A-OK. Roger Johansson took the win with a 6:23, but that almost seemed immaterial at the end of that one. Dmitry was on a pretty good run till it went pop as well. Well, Roger moves through. Up next, Jimmy Orland, defending European champ, taking on Bobby Wallace from just down the road in Bedford. Nitrous Willis on the far side, taking on supercharged 51 Chevy on the near side. Jimmy Orland in the old 51 team. Through round 1, 5:88 beats a 6:28. Terrific run from Jim. Now, quite honestly, this was a first round matchup we didn't want to see. The reason I say that is because we wanted Fred to keep going and keep winning, but he's got a huge ask against Andreas Arthurson with a massively powerful twin turbo. Javel on the far side, Fred off the line first. Fred's actually in the lead going past 3:30, but then the big horsepower of the turbo car takes it with a 5:81 at 2:48. Fred really tried hard with a 6:06, 2:32. John Tebberdon, first competitive event on the far side with the fabulous Lightning McQueen. He's on the way to getting beat, unfortunately, by Jan Eriksson, number 2 qualifier, 5:84. Takes the win at 5:87. Okay, last pair. Jean Delemont from the southwest of France. Number 16 qualified with a 6:29. Yes, he was on the bump. Taking on your number one man. A week ago at the Door Slammers, on his first burnout of the season, he broke the engine. A week later, 580. Quickest supercharged run in Europe ever for David Vegter with the pedal to the metal Camaro. Dave will be into round 2. 6:01 at 2:40. Good try for Jean though, at 6.30. So, FIA Top Fuel Dragster quarterfinals, first round. 8 cars here this weekend. And everybody getting ready and set. Your first pair will be 2 young ladies. And the first one to fire up is India Urbacher, taking on a returning Suzanne Colleen. Now, India Urbacher, obviously the daughter of Urs on the far side there. She is. Went down into the 3s for the first time ever at the European finals last year. Suzanne Colleen hasn't been in a top fuel car for a long while. She actually got her licence the same time as me, way back in 2002, all that time ago. Hasn't raced for a long time, but she's definitely back with a bang. She went 4-0 in qualifying. This will be a good one. Well, lots of torching heads go on and flames coming out of places they really shouldn't have done. India takes the win, 450 at 172. Even though it wasn't the ET they wanted, the win light is what they need. Well, these two have raced each other so many times over the years. Way back when in Top Methanol, then numerous times as well in Top Fuel. Anita Merkula with the Levin Igloo, sponsored by her dad's Igloo company, would you believe, all the way up in Levi in the north of Finland. That's the Northern Lights on the side of the car. Take it on, Mickey Kagerad from Sweden. Real good to see Mickey here for the first round of the championship. Anita was your number 1 qualifier down in the 380s. Well, that one was all about Anita. Flying run in round 1 and no problems at all to a 405 at 289. Mickey, unfortunately, out early. So an all-UK match-up this time round for CBD Asylum. In the UK, it is Mr. Liam Jones in Runefield's Top Fuel car. He made 3 3-second passes back at Easter. It's pretty damn good in qualifying here as well. Taking on Tethys in Urbacher's other car. This one's all Liam Jones, although Tethys, though, with a terrific run, his personal best at 4:03. Liam, though, untouchable, 389, 311 miles an hour. That is exactly what they wanted to be doing in round 1. Stig Nygaard for Lucas Oil in Denmark, taking on another newcomer in one of Runefield's cars. She has been around for a little while, got a Top Fuel licence a couple of years ago. Not in this car though. This is Maja Utian from Norway. Stig Nygaard been around for quite a few years now in Top Fuel. Myron Stig for a place in the semis. Well, Stig smokes the tyres. Maya with problems with the finish line, but she gets the win.
It was very good. We had a great run. Could have been better, of course, but we'll see if we can do it now.
Are the conditions different from yesterday?
No, it's pretty much the same, I think. So we'll see. We had a great run yesterday also, so...
Who have you got in the next round?
I got Liam.
Could be difficult, but anything can happen in drag racing.
It can, and we both got some great cars, and we're doing is making them both go fast, so...
On to 2 wheels, the FIM Europe Top Fuel Bike quarterfinals. Thomas Pettersson on the far side been running some terrific ETs here this weekend, down in the mid-60s with the funny bike. Taking on Fast Phil from Greece with the 4-cylinder Nitro Top Fuel bike. Well, Thomas Pettersson gave that a really good go up to about half-track. Phil, that was a lucky one. 650 at 194 miles an hour, and he wasn't winning that one for quite a while. Eric Richard on the far side, one of the quickest funny bikes in Europe, taking on Dale Leaks. Dale is way out in front. However, at the top end, power of that yellow machine comes through. 7:45 takes out a 7:70. Both a little bit off pace, but again, it's win lights that matter at this stage. Rene van der Berg was supposed to be in the other lane against Glenn Borg from Malta with the General Lee machine. Glenn goes 7:47, 1:81. Again, he's been nearly a second quicker than that before. Rapid Rickard Gustafsson taking on Stu Crane, the other Wartspeed engineering bike. Rickard with this awesome machine out of Falkenberg on the west coast of Sweden. Had a rather nasty off at Hockenheim last summer. This is his first event back. And it doesn't look like he's been anywhere at all. 6:08, 238 miles an hour.
We are struggling the whole weekend. It's not a good weekend for us. None of the runs were okay. We did a major change during the winter, and we tried something which is major on the bike. We took out the gearbox and we made it direct drive, trying to do what the top fuel cars are doing and what some other people have tried also, successfully and unsuccessfully on fuel bikes.
A couple more runs from our bike classes. FIM Europe Super Twin and the Brits meet in the quarterfinals. Alan Davis on the far side taking on Neil Midgley. Both supercharged machines. That was very close at the finish line. For Lucas Oil and Canon Engineering, 7:04 for Neil. Moves on. FIM Europe Super Street Bike had 16 bikes battle it out. Daniel Lentz from Hungary taking on Graham Bouchin. Very close race. Graham on the near side. 7:13 beats 7:34. Back to FIA Pro Mod. Very cool windy conditions today. 3B for Mats Eriksson because David Vegter unfortunately had issues between round 1 and round 2. 7:30 at 1:27 gifts Mats Eriksson place in the semi-finals. This could be a great one earlier in the season. On the near side, Europe's only 5.7 second nitrous door car. That is Roger Johansson. His crew chief Alex closes the door. Taking on Magnus Pedersen for Summit Racing, the old 51, who actually won the Pro Mod Championship last year. Hardly anything in it off the start line. Who's in front? Wow, Roger nearly loses it. Did very well to hang on to that actually at the finish line. It's Jim with a 5.8 second win. By run as well. But Jan Eriksson goes 5.85. What a stormer. No, Michel Touret, unfortunately, as well. Not a good round for the Dutch, that one. Andreas Arthurson with the twin turbo car. Beautiful machine. Another one built by Max Bragg, actually. On the far side goes red on the tree. Mickey Gallquist, though, makes no mistake. 5.96, 2.37. Plenty to do, as always, in the top fuel pits.
Yeah, it just put the road out, so the engine, we had to change engine, but the car is ready now for second round, so we're just ready to go out. We already warmed up and all is fine.
Well, the races are ready, but the great British weather had other ideas. Heavy rain meant we're on hold, but the awesome track crew here at Santapod did their stuff, and pretty soon we're ready to go once again. So, some of our sportsman racers ran through their eliminations. Then it was time for FIA Top Fuel semi-finals here at the main event. Up first, well, first of all, India had to race returning Suzanne. Now she has Anita for fun on the other side of the racetrack. Anita, very unusually, still has a strong run in round 1, went 4-0, but she's normally, well, almost always in the 3s. India's been there once, that was back at the European finals last year. The car's very capable. Crew Chief Aaron Brooks from the US definitely knows how to get one of these cars down a racetrack. This could be a good one. Place in the final, first race of the year, up for grabs. India falls back. Anita, no problems whatsoever with a 4 flat, 300 miles an hour. Well, they were pretty even again off the start line. So it will be Anita in the final against one of these two. Teammates for Rudy Field Racing. Myrusien, sponsored by Salmar from Norway. Up against Liam, who cannot stop running. 3.8 second passes. So might have got her first ever round win in FIA Top Fuel earlier on. And she keep it going to get to the final. Liam Jones goes red. Wastes a 394.305 mile with a 432, is in her first ever final. The crew just can't believe it, unfortunately for them. We're moving into the FIM Europe Top Fuel Bike semi-finals. Now this is a race you wouldn't normally expect till the final, but due to where they qualified, it's happening kind of early. Semi-finals, far side the racetrack, fast Phil from Greece with the Gulf Oils Top Fuel machine. Being pushed back by Ian King, who's normally on the other side with the crash helmet on. Taking on Rickard, who has had a fairy tale return to racing so far. I've never seen Ian King push the Top Fuel bike back before. There we go, learn something every day. I'm only kidding, Ian. Ian, 10-time European Top Fuel bike champion. He's been around a long while and definitely knows how to run one of these machines. That's probably why Phil acquired the team. He knew he was going to win with it. Both away. It's Rickard way out there in front. And it's Rickard with a winner, a 591 at 233. Lose out for Phil in the low sixes. So Rickard is in the final. Who will he race? One of the two funny bikes here. Glenn Borg from Malta. And the yellow funny bike of Eric Richard. Two normally 6-second funny bikes. Glenn Borg looks like he's out in front, and he is with a 688 193 for a final round 8 with Rickard. Well done to Glenn. FIA Pro Mod semis, but no sign of Jan Eriksson.
We lost the spark plugs that fall down in the cylinder and destroy. We don't know how much, but we don't take it apart now. We wait until we come home and fix it until TR.
Real shame for Jan Eriksson and the whole team. They were very, very strong down in the 580s already. So, first semi-final, far side the racetrack, the returning Green Goblin, well, Black and White Goblin, whichever you prefer. Mats Eriksson with a beautiful Crown Victoria. That's his son, LG, who actually built it, backing him up. Taking on the defending European champ. Jimmy Orland with the old 51, deep into the 580s this weekend. Mats Eriksson really does need to step up on this run if he wants to make it into the final. His tuner, Adam Flammonk, I'm sure, has got something for Magnus Pedersen. Well, it is. Problems for Jimmy. 618. Only a 618. Unbelievably takes the win. But Mats Eriksson, he's in the final. Who will he be against? The one and only Mickey Gallquist. It played out exactly the same as this a year ago. Door slammers, Mickey Gallquist had issues, turned up at the main event and won. Same thing this year, changed the combination over the winter, and now he's back into the fives with a 592 at 245. So we move into the finals here at Santapod. Mats Eriksson and Mickey Gallquist.
We are friends.
Friends off the racetrack. They won't be for long in the Pro Mod final. First up, we've got the European Fuel Funny Car Series. Kevin Chapman with the Thermareg Mustang against Steve Ashdown with the Undertaker. These two cars have been pretty good this weekend, but Steve Ashdown so far has been slightly better, and he is in the final as well. 475 at 188, clicked it slightly early. Well done to the whole team. They had a horrible time at Easter. Broke lots of stuff. Good to see him take a win. Jani Koskinen from Finland. By run in the final of FIM Europe Pro Stock Bike. No show for Martin Bishop. Jani, though, 723. Takes the win and the points lead. FIM Europe Super Street Bike. This is the second round of their series. Eric Gruber, far side on the Kawasaki from Austria. Taking on Steve Venables. And Steve is unstoppable again. 685, 213 miles an hour on a street-tired machine. FIM Europe Super Twin. Your champion from last year, Marcus Christensen. From Denmark on the far side against this man, Samu Kampainen, all the way from Finland. So Finland against Denmark. That's Marcus Christensen with the orange and black machine. Very unique riding position he's got. The bike built by his dad, and it looks like he's going to take another event win. Problems for Samu off the start line. Marcus, that's an easy run for him as well. 650, 215. FIM Top Fuel Bike final round. Glenborg from Malta with the General Lee machine. Taking on returning and rapid Rikard Gustafsson down into the fives already. He did have a nasty accident at Hockenheim last summer. Spent a little bit of time in hospital, but the bike was pretty much okay. He obviously is back on form, to say the least. And he's also off in the distance with an event win here at the main event. 595 at 242 for Rikard. Congratulations to him. Great effort from Glenborg as well. Another final I'm glad we get to show you. Invited for this weekend here at the main event, the Nordic Top Door Slammers. Matthias Volken, who won £10,000 a week ago at the Door Slammers, taking on Caroline Strand. In the Chevy Corvette in the near lane. Class of the field really has been Matthias, but I tell you what, there's quite a few of them that haven't been far behind. These cars normally race over the 8th mile, i.e. half track. The distance, or half of the distance they're racing here, i.e. a quarter mile. So they had to change the tune-up and quite a few things on the car. And it looks like Caroline's on a flyer this time. She is indeed. Matthias has got problems. 594, 242 for Caroline Strand. Absolutely fantastic for that team. That's her husband on the start line, Michael. Absolutely loving it. One of FIA Top Methanol. Dragster against funny car matchup. Far side, Sandro Bellio in the luminous funny car. He didn't red light. There is a stagger on the tree. He's taken on Mansi Bugaya. And a 553 takes out a 545. Funny car beats Dragster in the final of Top Methanol. That's his dad, Danny. And his mum as well. So, FIA Pro Stock Car. Michael Malmgren taking on Jimmy Orland. Yes, the same Jimmy Orland you have seen throughout the show in Pro Modified. This is his car, i.e. Pro Stocker in the near lane, sponsored by Summit. Michael Malmgren on the far side, out the throttle early. It will be Jim. He's running the full tour for Pro Stock, which is normally bad news for everyone else. Final Pro Modified. Max Ericsson, who, fair to say, has ridden his luck a bit to get to the final today. He's been in the 6s most of the time, and everybody else has been in the 580s or 590s. However, it's all about win nights. It doesn't matter what you run the round before. You've got to get there first when it matters. Up against Mickey Goldquist, who won by virtue of waiting for the green light. Max Ericsson went before the tree was activated. Mickey, though, way back on form with a 583.
Well, we struggled a bit in the start of the weekend, but I think we sorted it out pretty well in the end.
So obviously now you're really going to start tuning that setup, because obviously you've just been trying to get it down the track, I guess. So there's a lot more to look out for over the season.
Well, you never know. We had really some luck today, and we got a buy round in the right place, and but we need some flow. If you're going to win one of these events, you need to have some luck too.
So it's almost time for the Top Fuel final. Anita's been here plenty of times before, but it's a new experience for Maya. So it's also the penultimate final. It's the FIM Junior Drag Bike Cup. Blade Dummer and Meg Talbot. They run on a dial-in. That's Blade on the far side, Meggie on the near side, and it's Blade who takes the event win. Well done to him. So this is the final of this weekend's racing. Two ladies racing off. Definitely been a ladies' day here at the main event. Anita Merkula, sponsored by Levin Igluit. And Maya Utian, sponsored by Leroy from Norway. Now, up to now, Maya, the car has been a little bit hit or miss, but there is a terrific number in there. Has Rune Fjord found it for this final round race against Anita? Anita's been a little off on race day, purely from her own normal high standards. She's been running 4.0s. She's normally in the 3.80s like clockwork. So, can Maya get it done? We're about to find out. I have a feeling this might happen a few more times throughout the season. It's Anita on a bye run and a new European record, 3.84 at only, unbelievably, 296 miles an hour. Problems for Maya on the start line. Very unusually, she actually backed out of stage. I can only think that was an issue with the car. Obviously not Maya. Wait till they see the number. Look at that. Absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, we had to change everything, and we ran out of time. We were thinking we might not make it, but the guys were working so hard and we're getting strapped in and getting the car ready on the way down, like in a hurry. So it was just seconds that we actually got to do it. So, but when I was in pre-stage, I put it on high side, and when I took my foot off the clutch, that hit the shifter. So I put it in reverse, and when I was supposed to go forward, I was just backing out of pre-stage. So.
And another amazing weekend of racing for Anita.
Isn't that? I have such a good crew, such a good car. Hey, what else can girls do?
It must be good starting off with a win, because now you think, yes, we got it last year, we can take the title again.
Of course, that's the purpose of racing, to win, and that's why we are here. But, well, racing is racing, and you never know until the last race is over.
Are you happy with the way the cars run this weekend?
Hey, European record. Yes, I am happy.
They don't call her the Queen of European drag racing for nothing, starting the season where she left off last year. The tour heads off to Sweden, Finland, Germany, and then back to Sweden again before it returns here to the UK in autumn. We'll see you back here at the Euro Finals, where all our champions will be crowned.